Cheers then. I see all the usual loon balls in the chat room. Oh dear, dear, dear. Oh, you can't go talking about bacon. You can't talk about bacon this early on in the stream. Come on. You know I'm going to be smelling bacon all the way through this now. That's just wrong. So who we got in here today then? I see Jason in there. Big shout out to Jason. Got one of Jason's stories queued up for today. Just a guy. We got Queen Goddess, Carol, dead. Carol's not dead, but Carol and then dead. And then we've got Diana. Big shout out to Diana. That seems like a new name. Don't recognise that one. That's cool. We've got Lynn in there. Lee Veltman. We've got Annabelle Lee, the provider of such good woo. Mannerus. Let's see, scrolling down, I've got Matthew in there. Matthew Blackman. ZX81. That's a throwback, I'm telling you. The memories come flooding back every time I see that name. Fred Doe. Who else we got rolling in here? We got Lisa in there as well. Oh, it's going to be a good one, folks. It's going to be a good one. And of course, it's Friday, right? It's TGIFF. Thank goodness it's Freaky Friday. It's going to be the cheesiest thing ever, isn't it? Don't forget, folks, we're just about to get going, but hit that like button, hit the dislike button. Remember to leave a comment after the stream's done as well. All of it goes towards catching the attention of the algorithm, and hopefully over time we'll start to see more and more people coming in here. So we've got Tiffany coming in. I see, who else we got? Raleigh. This is looking good. We've got Pat Studio in there. Liking it. We've got a couple of stories to get into today. We're going to have a bit of fun as well with a little AI versus AI. Yes, it's going to be quite intriguing to see what results we get there. And of course, with it being Friday, we're building up towards Freaky Friday. So you know there's going to be a bit of woo in here too, right? Oh, hell yeah. I think we have an incoming before we get going. Will Brian be awake? Come on, Brian. I still think we should go back to the Australian girl. I think she was pretty cool, to be honest with you. Come on, Brian. Don't let us down, Brian.
Hey Jules, try out Brian. #76ers.
Oh, indeed. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, let me just bring up yours truly here. How are you all doing? Yes, we're back. We're live. Going to pimp out this chat that we've got down here a little bit. Give me a second, folks. Yeah, so we're going to chill out today. I took a day off yesterday. I was up at the hospital. Everything went well. It was just pesky breathing tests. It was like, I kind of had a bit of a laugh with it. You know what the way my mind works. They make you sit in this like glass box. And I don't know if it was like being in some kind of new version of Big Brother or some kind of time machine that they had me in. But no, it all went good. Back to the hospital next week. So we might take an afternoon stream off on the 24th. When's the 24th? That'll be the Tuesday, maybe. Probably won't be on the Tuesday. And on the Monday next week, and this is of particular importance to all you people who have got your names in green out there and who have been kind enough to support the stream, I have got a meeting with a lady from Google Hangout, funnily enough. I thought Google Hangouts were dead, but it's all to kind of discuss what kind of perks I can put in place and what advantages there can be through having a membership on the Kev Baker Show, and hopefully grow the membership numbers and grow the channel as well. And I know what people are going to say. They're going to say, okay, he's sold out to Google. Listen, as a creator that's been on this platform for many a year, the opportunity to speak to somebody physical and human and get advice from the mothership, I would be an absolute idiot to turn that down. I truly, truly would. So I'll deal with the flack that comes with it. But yeah, that's on Monday afternoon. And I'm also speaking to Brian Keating on Monday as well. And that's the dude that came that close to winning the Nobel Prize. So next week's going to be a huge week on the show and for the show and for all of you out there as well, because we're going to take this to the next level. We're at a plateau on the Kev Baker Show channel right now. And I know why it happens, okay? Because I cover so many different topics. I'll get a new wave of listeners coming in when I'm covering topic X, okay? And they love topic X. And they love the way KBS covers topic X. But you know how KBS is. KBS will never focus too long on just topic X. And then I'll start moving on to Y and Z. And maybe the new people that came for X, when they hear Y and Z, they think, well, this isn't my cup of tea anymore. And they go away again. Whoa! Come on, Brian.
Sit back, relax and put your feet up as we dive into some woo. Don't forget to pack your ganja. Brown chicken, brown cow, and smoked mifyagotum.
I haven't heard anyone use the word ganja, I don't know, in about 10 years. I nearly choked on my Red Bull there, dude. No, just a guy. Thank you very much. Sid as well. Various ways to support the show. The StreamBots Lab, or the StreamLabs bot, should I say. Not Kristen. I know people think Kristen's a bot at times, or they used to anyway. But it will drop the links periodically for ways to support the show. And remember, only if you can. And I appreciate it very, very greatly. The family do. And but if you can't, it's okay, because I'll still be here. We've still got a lot of woo to get into. And before we even get going today, right, I want to bring up a website here. This is a new guest we've got coming on in the near future. And his name is, wait, I'll get it right here. I don't want to get the name wrong. John Sumple. Now, John Sumple is going to be coming on to the show on the 2nd of October. And he is the director of this documentary movie right here, Extraordinary, The Seeding. Let's just take a quick look at maybe just a minute of this. And I'm sure I'll be all right because John's going to be coming on the show. He's directed it. It's his movie. Let's take a look at what this is all about. Talk about the deepest of woo.
The more that we actually learn about the world we're in, the greater the mysteries.
One in 50 American adults had experiences that could point to abduction.
It's extremely brave for someone to make their story public in this arena.
We look away and the ship would light up, and the next thing is just, boom, it's gone.
Men and women have been taken for purposes of reproduction and hybridization.
So like I say, folks, I've got the director of this documentary coming on the 2nd of October. It's all about contactees, abductees, creation of a hybrid alien-human race. This is going to blow your mind, folks. And look at the quality of this. It's really, really encouraging to see this kind of topic being covered and obviously a bit of money being put behind it.
I was abducted. I wake up and there's such a bright light.
They would tell me to look in their eyes.
They're controlling your thoughts.
Inserting this gigantic tube inside of my body, it's painful. I'm now looking who this man is. He is inside of me. It's a screen image of the reptilian. They began the insemination process.
A new embryo is created, and that little hybridized embryo already formed is implanted in the womb, and she will gestate.
They always want the children fetuses.
I would go in for my appointment and there would just be no baby.
So we'll leave it there, folks, but check that out. Extraordinary, the seeding. I'm going to be watching that over the weekend. And then, like I say, 2nd of October, and that is a Wednesday. I'm going to be on for 2 hours with the director of this documentary movie. So, as you can tell, I can't wait. It's the kind of thing, and it's really, really synchronistic, and I'll tell you why. You've heard me now talking about Armand giving me the Mothman prophecies for weeks, okay? And I'm finally getting to, I think I've got about 1 chapter to go in it. It's been one of the most fascinating listens, and obviously it's a book, I've got it in audio book form, but it deals with not just the Mothman and the Mothman prophecies like it's called, but it deals with so much in there. Men in Black, strange occurrences, UFOs, and contactees, abductees. So at the same time as I'm reading this, you know, just randomly after Armand had gave it to me, in the background, going on independent from that, this whole kind of introduction to the people behind this movie has been made. I don't know. You know how things roll on KBS? I follow kind of the road signs, the little markers. I go with my gut, and something is definitely pulling me down this direction right now, and I'm loving it because it's deep woo. It truly is deep woo. Now, do I think everyone out there who has stories to tell have been abducted and interfered with alien probes and things like that? No, I'm not saying all of these stories, all of these people are telling the truth. However, that doesn't mean that I don't think there's something to this. And there's a lot of people out there with a lot of stuff to tell you. And this documentary and the people that John's spoken to and the research he's done, I think we're going to make a really good case for what is, when you think about it, a truly, truly terrifying phenomenon. Yeah, I laugh and joke about the aliens coming and things like that. And, you know, if the Nordics turned up with their flowing blonde hair and those Swedish good looks and things, I'd be screwed, right? But at the same time, as this documentary, you know, highlights, not all aliens are nice, folks. Same as humans, right? You get good and you get bad. It stands to reason in a universe the size that we're in. A multiverse. And we have got a new member. Dang, dude. Dang. I should really have some, like, beer, like Homer, for when we get a new member. Maybe we could do that. We could do a drinking stream one day. Do YouTube allow that? Probably not. Probably need to take that one to Periscope. Still haven't figured out how to get the new YouTube, because I'm using the new YouTube studio on the back end. And no, folks, everyone's getting the new studio. It's not some Google perk that they're giving me. Don't be starting that rumor. Okay, don't be going there. But it's hard to get it to multi-stream right now, because I am going to end up going out on multiple kind of platforms. Increase that digital footprint, you know, because I know the AI loves me so much. And I don't know about where you are today. I don't know about where you are, but it's absolutely lovely outside. Here we are, 20th of September. And it's absolutely, I don't know, it feels like the middle of July out there. It's scorching. And of course, with it being the 20th of September, that means we're approaching a very important time of the year. And that is, of course, the autumn equinox. Now, why did I get into the autumn equinox? Well, because the equinox this year is the 23rd. And it says, just for anyone who isn't quite clear on it, the September equinox is the moment when the sun appears to cross the celestial equator heading southward. Now, due to differences between the calendar year and the tropical year, the September equinox can occur at any time from September 21st to the 24th. And I think it's going to be something like 8:50 in the morning over here in the UK on the 23rd, when they're all down at Stonehenge waving their chicken feet and brown chicken, brown cow, and they've all got they're doing their Morris dancing or whatever the hell they do when the sun comes up on that day down there. And I'm not knocking it, folks. I'd be down there in a minute. I'd be down there in a heartbeat. It'd be, all free love and will and all the rest of it. Chicken feet and blue chickens, brown cows. I don't know. Who knows what goes down and goes on at like Stonehenge on the autumn equinox. But there is another reason why I bring it up, because while the world's media will show you people, celebrating the sunrise that day, there's also another level of shenanigans that go on around these holidays. And that's what I want to show you here. Because let's take it to the occult calendar. Okay, and remember, it's Freaky Friday. It's TGIFF. Let me do this. We're allowed to do this. I've not even got the scary music on today. I'm just going to go with this. Go with the flow just now. We're going somewhere with it. Don't worry. We're always going somewhere, right? You're going to love what I've got coming up for you, as you truly are. We're going to have a laugh. I don't even know what's going to happen when we unleash AI against AI. It's going to be hilarious. But you have to wait for that. See how I hook you in? I keep you going. So here we have the occult holidays and Sabbats. It says, as we have repeatedly stated, the Satanists believe that numbers contain inherent power. Thus, they literally order their lives by occult numerology. And such numerology also is a key component in astrology, another system of divining that Satanists observe very closely. Now, the occult calendar is divided into 4 segments of 13 weeks each. And, of course, you've got the number 13 there. It says the number 13 is considered divine by occultists for a couple of reasons. The Bible assigns 13 the meaning of rebellion against constituted authority. So I want to come down and show you, though, why I've brought this up. Because if we come down to the autumnal equinox, 13 weeks, minor Sabbath, but does require some really bad stuff to be happening in these higher up, really kind of powerful secret societies and groups of which we probably don't know the names to. I'm not talking about your common like Freemasons or your run-of-the-mill kind of druid people or anything like that. No, you know what I'm talking about here, folks. And we have got another member incoming. Dang, I tell you what, I thought it was going to take us ages to get to the next emoji, but now we're on to what? That's us on to, I think we only need 20 more members. We'll be there in no time, okay? So if we check here, September 21st, tomorrow, Mabon, one of the Illuminati, bad juju night. There he is, look at him. I really need that noise to turn to, don't. That's what we'll do. I'll get that sorted over the weekend, right? Who knows? Maybe I'll be able to encourage the guys later on today to simulcast a bit of Freaky. If you're good, If you pay me lots of pay... I'm only joking, folks. I'm only joking. But let's take a look here, because we're on September the 20th, and these real evil characters in the world, they're going to be warming up for some... rather interesting parties, shall we say. Say September the 1st, like I say, one of the Illuminati's really grim bad stuff night, okay? Human sacrifice, that's what we're talking about here. And then it says on September 21st to the 22nd, that's the equinox. And then obviously you jump forward to October the 31st, Samhain, also known as Halloween, or All Hallows Eve. This day is the Illuminati's highest day of really bad stuff. Okay? And you know why I'm not too quick to throw it out there. I'm trying to keep the ads on this video as long as we can. Probably gone already. I get that, and that's why I thank the members and people chipping in so much, because the topics we touch on here usually not advertiser friendly, and because of all of you, I can kind of relax, and I don't need to be too kind of aware of tripping up the algorithm, because I know that you have supported me throughout the stream. So then, we've got all of this going on in the world right now amidst all of the craziness that's going on. It's one of these kind of periods in the calendar. And we're approaching October, right? And what's October? What do they always say about October? It's the October surprise. Surprise! Point being, that this is usually a very active time of year, both in the real world, both in our personal lives, and as well, behind the scenes. And it's usually a time when something big's going to happen, or at least the threat of something big might happen. So if we just stay all on our toes and we're aware of all of that, I'm still sure that we'll be very, 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 very well protected within the Kev Baker Show safe space, where we can watch all of this craziness going by and not give two hoots, okay? But one more thing about this whole equinox, and it's relevant to your man Sid, who now has a wrench in there in the chat room. It's a good week for the Northern Lights, ? Well, the fall equinox puts the Earth in the perfect position for the auroras. So Sid, I want to see lots of Northern Light pictures over on the Discord server. Says fall can be green too. The coming of the equinox on September the 23rd brings the start of astronomical fall, or autumn in the Northern Hemisphere, a season known for browns, reds and yellows in the foliage. But did you know it can also bring greens to the night sky? Now, those on or around the Arctic Circle are more likely to experience the increased northern lights around the equinox. Why is that? And what is the equinox anyway? Well, it says here the equinox will fall on Monday, the 23rd at precisely 7:50 a.m. Universal Time. It's a global event that happens for everyone on the planet at the same time. However, some sample locations are as follows, and it gives you London, 8:40 in the morning, New York, 3:50 a.m., LA, 10 to 1 in the morning. You get the idea. And it says the fall equinox, known as the spring or vernal equinox, in the southern hemisphere always occurs around September the 21st to the 24th. That's the way it works when you're on this globe and, all those other, spherical objects out there in space and things. I know it'll trigger people, but I'm one of those dinosaurs. What can I say? It says, what is the fall equinox? Well, we'll come down here. So how does the fall equinox affect the northern lights? This is what interested me, Sid. I wanted to see why it is. It says, firstly, it affects the viewing season simply because by the time the equinox arrives, there is equal hours of night and day. So there is a much bigger chance of seeing the northern lights. After all, if you are close to the Arctic Circle in the middle of summer, you'll see nothing. Not because the northern lights are not present, but because it never gets dark. And as equinox arrives, the viewing conditions are much better because it's darker for longer. However, there's another reason why the northern lights can be slightly stronger around the equinox. Earth's 23.5 degree tilt and the magnetic field of the solar wind. Before we look at why that is, consider where the aurora zone is. And although they do occasionally become visible at much lower latitudes, the northern lights usually appear as an oval in the skies above the Arctic Circle, between 64 degrees and 70 degrees north latitudes. That region of the planet covers Alaska, northern Canada, southern Greenland, Iceland, the Faroe Islands, Lapland, and the northern regions of Norway, Sweden, and Finland and Scandinavia, and northwest Russia. However, at this time of year, that aurora oval can be bigger, making the northern lights observable from much further south. Why? Well, to understand why, you first must know about the Earth's tilted axis. Oh, this must really trigger those people that don't believe in the globe, eh? That they must roll their eyes at this point. So it says here, the different seasons on our planet are thus because Earth rotates on an axis that's tilted by 23.5 degrees with respect to the sun. Now that tilt explains why different parts of the planet get different amounts of sunlight at different times of the year. and why days vary in length. So, one more bit to go. It says, this is to do with the planet's position and angle in relation to the sun and the solar wind at the fall equinox. Earth's axis is perpendicular to the sun, and that which has consequences, and it's that which has consequences for the northern lights. Caused by the solar wind, charged particles from the sun getting accelerated down the field lines of the Earth's magnetic field during the fall autumnal equinox. The solar wind's magnetic field is facing southward relative to the Earth. Put simply, our planet's geometry is lined up nicely with the solar wind during equinox. And the result? An increased chance, but absolutely no guarantee of stronger and more frequent displays of aurora gracing the night skies. And I must admit, there is nothing, I think, more beautiful than that right there. I mean, look at the colours involved there, folks. You'd be struggling, any artist in the world, you know, you can be as good as you want on Photoshop and things like that, but sometimes only nature can do shit, you know? I don't know, it's just absolutely amazing. But we've got that out of the way, and now we're going to shift gears. Boy, oh boy, are we going to shift gears. We're going to get into some AI stuff. We've got a story from Jason. He dropped it in the Discord server, and I've sent out 6 new requests or 6 new links to people just before the show today. If you want to join the server, it's email kbsdiscord@protonmail.com, and just give me your YouTube name and I'll send you an invite, and it's taking shape nicely. Lots of stories in there, but Jason, I've picked one of Jason's today. I think I've got one of Annabelle's as well, but this is going to start a steady kind of descent into the craziness when we start to come back after this short break. We're going to take in a little second here, but we're going to talk about the robot priesthood. And then, like I've been teasing you, we're going to take the product of one AI and we're going to feed it into a totally different AI, and we're going to see what the outcome is. And trust me, I haven't even done this, okay? I've just selected pictures. There's a few I've done. I spoke about this briefly on the show last night. But folks, this is going to be hilarious. How do I know it's going to be hilarious? Trust me on this one. And you won't have long to wait, because give me 30 seconds or so. I'm just going to get a quick drink. I'm going to get set up for this next part of the show. And you are going to love this. This is going to get weird. It's going to get wicked. It's going to get wild. It's going to get woo. And it's Freaky Friday written right all over the back of it. I feel your pain. I feel your pain, dude. He says here, we all know this here. It's only you foreigners who don't understand. He says, what can I say? It's in our books. It's in your blood, Sid. And he says, we went to the US in 1000 AD and don't get much credit. Sorry for the rant. Dude, I totally agree with you, man. I totally feel you. Those Vikings, they don't get the credit they deserve. Oh, hell no. Oh, hell no, they don't. Oh, look at that. I see Jonathan Fuller in there. Jonathan Fuller, that's good to see you back, brother. Because I know we had a bit of an issue. We thought somebody was going about banning people. But it's good to see you, man. Lee Veltman something's going glitchy in Boston. Oh, I read that wrong. You know me, Lee. How you doing, man? Okay. Here we are. We're back. And as you can see on the screen, here we go. We're shifting gears. Oh, are we shifting gears? And it was Jason in the chat room, member of the channel here. I'm happy to have Jason over in the Discord as well. Very active member of the Discord. That's what we like to see. You know, the Discord, it might have like the KBS server. That might be the name of it. But it's for all of you out there. And really, the amount of time I can spare at the best of times, it's very, very minute. But already it's going the way that I wanted it to go. People are able to hang out. There's no expectation of me being there. You don't need me there. We're all equals, and everyone's views, everyone's stories are just as relevant as the next. And one of our listeners from the other day, I think it was Holly, I've got to look at the images that she sent me of the sun. I remember speaking about the sun with Holly. So really, it's the whole Discord server and the show here together, it all goes together. It's one big kind of really potentially good thing we've got going on here. I say potentially because you never know what can go wrong. It only takes one turd in the punch bowl, as they say, folks, and it all goes tits up, as we say in Glasgow. But let's get into this because, come on, look at this headline here. And what's happened to my chat box? Oh, Streamlabs, why are you doing this? There we go, there it goes. It's in pink this time. Hey. And people say that I'm not inclusive. See? The John Fuller Project says, did you see the pics I sent you on Facebook? I haven't yet, man. I haven't. If we've got time at the end of this stream, though, we'll go and do it. We'll go and take a look. So, what's it saying here? I've let this stew on the screen long enough. Oh, dearie me. I'd say you couldn't make this up. You don't need to make this up, okay? RoboPriests. Mind boggles. Would children be safer, though? But that's the question that we should all be asking, or we are all asking at the back of our minds, right? I know the way your minds work. It's very similar to mine. Maybe we need to look at this another way. But it says here the Catholic Church could ordain sophisticated AI robots as priests. And it's a Franciscan sister proposes, with the church moving towards a post-human period. Now, I'm sure there's got to be I'm no Bible scholar or anything like that, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing in the Bible about taking us into a post-human age, is there? You know, I think our flesh suits, are they not good enough? No, I don't know, folks. This doesn't end well. And then they wonder why people like me and Elon and all the other kind of naysayers out there, they wonder why we have this grim outlook of the way things are going. Robo-priests, robo-cops, robos this, robos that. Here we go. Says here, Catholic sister suggests that artificial intelligent robots could be used as priests. And a theologian, Ilia Delio, said robotic priests could replace or work with humans. Well, are they going to keep an eye on the human priests? Is that what it is? Are they really the police, the priest police? That's hard to say. If you imagine saying that after a few beers, priest police. Are they like the cops? Are they going to be keeping an eye on these questionable characters that wear frocks? I don't know. Let's have a look. Oh dear me, not Sophia. Although maybe she would look okay in a nun's habit, right? I don't know. I'm just thinking aloud. It says a senior Catholic sister and theologian has suggested that sophisticated robots could be used as priests. And let me know in the chat room, folks. Tag me if you've got a comment that you want me to read out here. I imagine This probably will inspire a lot of debate in the chat room. So the Franciscan sister, Ilia Delio, who has 2 PhDs and a chair in theology at Villanova University, said the priesthood should be reimagined with robots working alongside or instead of human religious figures. So one day we're going to be looking at like a RoboPope. I like that, RoboPope. Come on. I'm going to put that in the title for the stream. I have to. The RoboPope. I like it. And his Robo Cardinals. I don't know, man. Robo Imams. I could have fun with this. I could have fun with it. So it says here, Delio, who gives talks on theology and science around the world, said robotic priests would have certain advantages, such as being incapable of committing sexual abuse and being gender neutral. It started so well. It started so well. Absolutely, we need to tackle the sexual abuse problem, but we don't need to tackle the non-problem of what sex the robot's going to be. Okay, you don't need to be kind of going down that road. All right? I digress. Goes on to say the sister who holds the Josephine C. Connolly Endowed Chair of Theology at Villanova University. Dang, that's a hell of a mouthful, is it? So what do you do? Well, I'm the holder of the Josephine C. Connolly Endowed Chair of Theology, good sir. Indeed you are. Added that male priests have formed very patriarchal system, something that would be challenged by artificial intelligence. How would you know? How would you know? Because you're going to have to teach these robots on data sets, and you'll find that most religious doctrine, most religious texts will have been written by, as we're seeing here, I would imagine men. It's going to look at the fact that men have usually been the ones, like you're admitting here, that it is a very patriarchal system. If it's going to be learning from that patriarchal system, it's going to display the same biases. Just saying, but I don't hold the Josephine C. Connolly Endowed Chair of Theology, so what would I know? She said that Catholicism has fixed ideas of what a priest is that would have to evolve as technology develops. And it says Delio told Vox. Oh, there it is. There it is. That should just be called Woke. Delio told Woke magazine, take the Catholic Church. It's very male, very patriarchal, and we have this whole sexual abuse crisis. So would I want a robot priest? Maybe. A robot can be gender neutral. Oh, because that's so important to people. That's what's keeping people away from the church, right? That's why so many people are questioning whether there's a God and things. It's the whole gender confusion thing, right? Aye. So it says it might be able to transcend some of those divides and be able to enhance community in a way that's more liberating. It's not even a problem. How many percentage of people in the world really have this thing about this gender stuff going on? I mean, each to your own, right? But it's not like this problem where we have to start, changing things that have always been. We don't have to start fixing things that ain't broke. Now, the whole kind of sexual abuse thing in that church, very broke. Okay, very, very broke. But you see what I'm saying? But she's speaking to Vox. It's what you have to do, right? Her comments came as a new robot priest named Mindar held a talk at Kodaji, a 400-year-old Buddhist temple in Kyoto, Japan, earlier this month, which we talked about. Somebody in the chat room, Susie, says, I know I say about Leo Zagami all the time, but his book 6.66 says about cyber Satan. Absolutely, why not? Hey, if it's learning from these psychopath satanic elite that run the planet, then it's going to do what? It's going to learn from those psychopathic, bloodthirsty elite. And then it's going to display what? Those very same traits. I see it. And then you could have this whole theory where the devil, the Antichrist energy comes in and takes it over. Who knows? Who knows, folks? Who knows? I try to stay positive about the AI. I do, because it could really solve so many problems in the world. And sometimes we have a tendency to overreact, and because we see this new technology on the horizon, we think it's going to be the end of the world. Probably the same. Remember, I was reading a story the other night on the show called The Myth of Technophobia. And it was talking about how when the cars came along, there was people shouting at them, get a horse, People thought, oh no, this was going to be the end. Life will never be the same again. But look at how the car, it kind of took us forward. And we soon came to accept it. And this happens anytime new technology comes along. It was even talking about Plato when the written language was getting created and formed. And Plato, so the story goes, was a bit pissed because he thought this would discourage conversation and debate and the way things had always been, and it would put us backwards. Well, writing, it became a thing, right? And my point being, obviously, there's fears about AI, rightly so. But maybe 50 years down the line, people will look back and they'll say, well, it's here now, it wasn't as bad as everyone really thought it would be, and where would we be without it? That's what I think. That's my own personal opinion, how I think it's going to go. But it's just an opinion. And it could go anyway. That's why it's so interesting. That's why it's so cool to look at, because we just don't know. We really don't know. And then you've got the whole weaponizing of it, and now you've got priests being inducted into it. Where does it end, Susie? Where does it end? I tell you, I don't know if there isn't some kind of reset button on this simulation soon. I don't know where it ends. I really don't. So it says here, robots can perform a social role in the way that human priests could not, according to Delio. Well, hang on, because we've talked about the sex bots on this show here, and there's not much difference between a sex bot and one of these dirty priests, right? Not the RoboPriests. I mean the living priests. Just saying. She added that humans should not fear robots replacing them, but instead view them as a partnership, or view their use as a partnership. Yeah, that's the important thing. If we can work alongside them and have them, I hate to say working for us, because if these things become semi-sentient and we're forcing them to do things, that's almost like slavery, right? But yeah, we have to work with them. It's like, I don't know, we can only see what the future holds, right? Because we could sit here until the middle of December discussing the pros and cons of this, and we'd still be no closer to what might actually happen. But you know me, always the optimist, right? Right? I know I'm the biggest fearmonger in the world, but don't tell anyone. It says, Delio said, we tend to think in an either or framework. It's either us or the robots. But this is about a partnership, not replacement. It can be a symbiotic relationship if we approach it that way. The Catholic notion would say the priest is ontologically changed upon ordination. Is that really true? We have these fixed philosophical ideas that AI challenges those ideas. It challenges Catholicism to move beyond or move towards a post-human priesthood.
Wish the Bible/Quran etc. was ebooks. Then I could hack them and figure out the truth.
I tell you, if you took all of those books, this is what I think, and people hate it. Who cares? I think if you took all of those books, you would find key pieces to the story, like a big puzzle, because there's so many similar threads, there's so many different stories being told. It's the same stories being told with different characters a lot of the time. And then there's like different bits and nuggets of information within all of the belief systems. And then, you got to think there's probably more beyond that as well. Lots more. You can only learn so much from these books, and it doesn't matter how scholarly you are in your particular book, be it the Bible or the Quran or anything else. Yeah, that's cool, but what does it mean? Well, it means you're really well versed in that book, but does that bring you any closer to your version of God? As long as we're good people, folks, as long as you try and do the best by people and don't try and shaft anyone along the way, I think that probably gets you just as close as being an expert in any book. And I've got problems with the Bible only because it's been edited by like royal families over the ages and there's been bits taken out of it and things like that. Doesn't mean I don't believe in God. Doesn't mean I don't believe in Jesus. Doesn't mean I don't believe that the whole simulation's still in play with those characters as well. But yeah, it's craziness. And how many wars have been fought over books? Those particular books. I've said it before, say it again. If we could flip it around and all the different religions come together, right? If we all came together, we could really make a case for like partying 365 days a year. We could like celebrate all the feasts, all the different kind of rituals. You get what I'm saying, folks? We could be partying instead of like lobbing weapons at one another. But anyway, let's get back to this because I really want to get speeded up here and get into the good part. We've not even gotten near the good part yet. Not even of this story. What's coming up? AI versus AI. But this is a good way to set us up for the AI versus AI, right? And just while I'm reading this, why is it the Catholic Church feel the need that they have to adapt? Okay? They are what they are. And we've already seen, like, AI churches springing up. Like new religions born out of AI with AI, figureheads. So why is it that they feel the need like they have to be on this? Because they're not really a church, especially when you get to the Catholic and things like that. They're more political nowadays than anything else. They're political, they're perverted. I'm telling you, it's all back to front. It's part of the inversion, folks. It truly is. So AI priests, before I get on my high horse, who knows? They'll probably be here. And if they do, well, at least the children might be a little bit safer. That's all I'm going to say. That make of that what you will. But we're going to stick on AI, and we're getting closer now to this craziness that I want us to get into. And it was Justa sent this today. Did we have a super chat go through there, folks? Yeah, we did. And I've been talking about it. See, I had a brain fart there. I'm sorry, folks. You see it live. But what you're looking at here on the screen, pretty cool, huh? And it's these AI-generated people are coming to kill stock photography. So it says none of these people are real, but their images are free to download and use in any way that you choose. Okay? So it says here, if you've ever looked at a prescription drug ad and wondered to yourself whether that happy mid-60s couple could possibly be real, well, that reality is about to get a whole lot more confusing to ponder. Because AI could soon, already, encroach on the territory of those models, whether actors you see in the ads or the models who sit for stock photography. Generated photos is a collection of 100,000 faces or human faces, all free to download and use for any purpose. Now, these people are beautiful, diverse, and ready to show up in your next ad campaign. Oh, and none of them are real. They have been generated by artificial intelligence. Most look indistinguishable from real human beings. But they are all just very cleverly arranged pixels sorted by a machine. What the hell's wrong with me today, folks? Says we've seen the technology before. For instance, openly distributed code from graphics chip manufacturer NVIDIA called StyleGAN let anyone on the web generate a completely fictional human face. Now, the code eventually led to the creation of a website called This Person Does Not Exist, where you could create a convincing new face with a tap of your cursor. Generated photos, and you see them here, folks. I mean, some of them, I don't know, there are one or two where, not in this set here, well, there was one just went by there that blatantly wasn't looking even like a human, let alone, 2 secs, though. I definitely need a little smoke of the green stuff for what's coming up in a minute here. So it says, while the contact on the site did not respond to our request for clarification, the project's website claims to be building a richer API that will allow you to sort the collection by criteria like age, ethnicity, skin tone, gender, and mood. And when the face replacement technology deepfakes hit the web in 2018, it made complicated face-faking neural network computer science relatively accessible to lay people, at least those who had a few hours to collect lots of photos of someone to train the system. Then, in early 2019, this person does not exist added an easy-to-use UX on top of the familiar novel face-generating tech. You didn't need to know anything about code to invent a new digital life from absolutely nothing but a tap on this site. And now, with generated photos, we're seeing a fake photo library presented as a free service, not even a tap required. What's astounding is that just back in 2016, 3 years ago, AI was generating people that looked like crazy sock puppet monsters. And now, not only has the technology been largely perfected, it's been presented in a user-friendly fashion for anyone to utilize. From here on out, you simply cannot assume that any face you see in an ad or an app is real. And by the same token, you might be a sucker for paying a human to do an AI model's job. So these faces, it's getting better and better. And like it said there 3 years ago, it looked like sock puppets, right? And that's what AI does. That's just the way the system works. It will always continue to get better and better. And the more data you're able to train it on, theoretically, the better it will get. So all these faces here, you've got another story about it here. You'll see some of them, there's 4 of the faces. I mean, this dude here, right? Unless somebody's like put a cigarette out on his forehead. And I mean, in this day and age, you wouldn't be able to ask him anyway, right? In case you offended him. You might be like, I don't know, scar shaming him or something. They look like real people to me. Absolutely. If you've seen them on Facebook, apart from this dude that's melting, he might look a bit weird. We'll rule him out, okay? He looks like he's got some kind of latex mask on. Dodgy eye as well. Ladies, if you go home with a guy and he starts doing like melting when he sits too close to the radiator, get him out of there. It's no good. It's never going to end well. So we've got these photos going on, and this ties in with something I was speaking about on the show yesterday, and I thought to myself, now this could be a novel experiment. Okay, because we've got all of these AI-generated pictures, right? There's so many to choose from, and I've taken these 4 here. I've got them in a folder ready for something. I've got pictures of me. I've got pictures of Joe. I've got pictures of politicians. I've got other people in there as well, because we're going to take a look at what this does to them. And this here is a story from yesterday called Fury as viral ImageNet app that claims to give honest answers on selfies is labeling people as an N-word, slant-eyed, and even that kind of suspect. A real bad person, right? So what am I talking about here? Well, what you do is, I'm going to take you to a website in a moment where we can upload pictures of people's faces. And the AI takes a look at it, and it'll come up with little descriptors for the people involved. It's funny, okay? I hope we don't get any too rude, because that'll be funny anyway, right? But you see what's happening here? Like this one here says, can't say, gook, slant-eyed. It's racist. It's highly offensive. This is a very, very bad, naughty AI, okay? Somebody, it's like, it's so toxic, it makes my heart bleed. It truly does. It's like a throwback to, I don't know, maybe a toxic male out of the 50s or 60s, something like that. So, what do we do to get this going? Well, we come to the website here. We need some tunes for this, folks. We need some music. This is going to be good. It could be crap. I don't know. I've tried it with me and Joe. It works. It's funny. And yeah, we'll see. Give me a sec. Find some apt music. Where are we? That's a bit dramatic, right? That'll do. That'll do. Right, here we go. Somebody's saying the App Store. Oh, I will. Don't worry, Sidvich. Don't worry, Sidvich. I will absolutely upload my own photo to this website we're going to. Because the way I see it, if you can't laugh at yourself, then you've got no right to be laughing at anyone else, right? Although Joe Joseph's an exception to that. Billy Joe says, loving your dating advice. Yeah, my dating advice is great. Billy Joe, if you ever get home with somebody and they've got a room full of porcelain dolls, run. What was my other one, folks? I've given away a lot of dating tips this week. Not so much the kind of tips that get you with somebody, just the kind of things to look out for. Those telltale signs, you know. I've watched enough of these, like, murder documentaries and things. I know what serial killers get up to, all right? I'll keep yous right, ladies. I'll keep yous right. But anyway, let's get back to this. And we're going to a website called Image Roulette. So all I need to do is, and I've got a folder set aside already, folks, don't worry. I've got a folder here. Pictures for AI, right? So to start with, I'm going to upload one of myself, okay? Like I say, you shouldn't be making fun of people if you can't do yourself first. So we're going to upload Kev Nye Science Guy. And this is what makes me laugh, right? Because you're going to say to yourself, well, that's a bit boring, Kev. It just says you've got a face. Oh, it does. But that pleases me. You know why that pleases me? Well, let me show you an example. While it looks at me and it says, I've got a face, it looks at somebody, and let me find this one here now. It looks at somebody like Joe Joseph, and it says, look at that, folks. He's a selfish person. Yes, poor Joe. Poor Joe's a selfish person, according to an AI. And this AI's been trained with something like, I think it was, can't remember, millions anyway, 100,000 million different kind of images, and there's 2,500 labels that it can put on people. So it called Joe a selfish person, okay? And then the other one I done that was show related. I'm going to turn this music off. It was show related. I went and I got Scotty Lopez, right? Because Scotty, big part of the Kev Baker show, but he is the weekend stream. I thought I'll do Scott. So wait, I'll pull up the one of Scott now. He's probably going to absolutely massacre me when he finds out I've been doing this on air. Where is it? There it is. Now this one's funny, folks. If it does the same thing, it's loading now. There it is. It thinks Scott is Batman. All right? This is how it came out yesterday as well. I don't know. Maybe we're going to have to do a Batman emoji for the old, what do you call it, the members now. But it doesn't end there. No. I've got more people for us to look at. You knew that. So let's go back to my little... And we're starting off with humans, I get that. I want you to get the idea of what this AI does before I let it classify non-human faces. Will it be tricked? Will it think it's looking at humans? Will it come back with something completely different? I don't know. I've not tried it. So let's start with a few famous people, shall we? And of course, first up, you knew I had to go here. And I'm probably the one that's going to get laughed at in a minute. Not just because we know that I like this person, but because I have no idea what the AI is going to say about AOC. What does it say? It calls her a white face. Dang, dude. That's a bit harsh, right? A bit harsh. AOC, white face. Didn't know it was a term, but... So we'll go to the next one. We'll go for Boris Johnson this time. See what it's got to say about Bonkers Boris. It tends to think that Bonkers Boris is a biographer. Who else have we got in the grab bag here? The Whistler. Now, the Whistler might actually trick people. It might trick people because the Whistler's got his photo with two cats on either side of him. And I wonder what it's going to make of that. First offender. Oh, tell me you can see that on the screen. It thinks Johnny Whistles looks like a criminal. That's just wrong. Just wrong. Terrible. I don't know if I'm happy with this AI now. I don't know about that. Johnny Whistles is not a criminal. That's terrible. Oh, the trolls are going to be loving this, right? Here we go. We'll upload the next one. Who are we going to go for? We'll go for Alex Jones. What does the AI make of Alex Jones? He's a pipe smoker. Who knew? Who knew that Alex Jones smoked the pipe? What kind of pipe does Alex smoke? Don't. It's a trick question. I'm only joking. So, who's next in my grab bag of fun? Well, we wouldn't be a stream if we didn't go to the Orange Man, right? He's the ex-president. Now, that came up yesterday in this article as well. If you scroll down here long enough, I think you find what it said about Trump. Ex-president, yeah. So we'll go back to... I've got more though, folks. I've got more before we get to the... Well, what does it say about my good friend? He's not my friend yet. I'd love him to be my friend. Elon Musk. Oh. He's a syndic. Right. What's a syndic, folks? A government official with various countries. A business agent of certain universities and corporations, especially a member of the Senate Committee at Cambridge University. Who knew? Who knew that about Musk? Who knew it? Right, let's go back. We've got more though. What does it say? What does it say about the one that people really do think is an alien or a clone? You know, come on, you've guessed it, right? Mark Zuckerberg. What's it say about him? Come on. Oh, it's thinking. Oh, he's like... Perfect timing with the music, right? Mark Zuckerberg. Perfect match for AOC. The two of them have been labelled whiteface. Make of that what you will. Who knew? And next up, we have... master criminal himself. An elder statesman. And it's caught somebody in the background and called prophetess. I wonder what Prince Andrew, you know I love that royal family. What does it class Prince Andrew as? Well, it's thinking, all right. I bet it's thinking. He's got the look of a politician about him. See if you can see that. A politician. I was thinking of something beginning with P, but it wasn't politician. You feel me? I know you were thinking it too. Don't deny it. Who else we got? Hey, the long-legged Mac Daddy coming in last but not least. The Obama-Nocchio. Dan! Oh, look at this. You couldn't make this up. So it sees Obama as a baron, big businessman, business leader, king, a magnate, a mogul, power, top executive. Is there anything it doesn't want to label this man? Dearie me. All bow to God Obama, eh? Let it go. The AI, I think, has been trained by some left-leaning people, me thinky. I'm just saying. I don't know. But this is where it could get interesting, right? Because like I say, we're going to put AI up against AI. So what happens when we take one of the AI faces from the article, we'll put in the guy that was melting, him that you definitely shouldn't stay the night with if he starts like falling apart in any way that resembles this. What does the AI say about him? A white person, Caucasian. How boring. I thought that would have been better. But it's not a person, remember. So at least, and it stands to reason. It's got nose, it's got the eyes, it's got a mouth, it's got hair. All of them are in the right place. The AI is going to think it's looking at a human. Okay? So if we choose another one, just to see if there's any funny answers come up, see if there's anything totally inappropriate. It's a face. Oh, so me and her have got that kind of like expressionless, dead kind of face. The AI has got absolutely, can't be bothered giving us a personality type. It just says face. Yeah, cheers, Kev. Face. Yeah, cheers, girl. You're a face as well. Not that I'm bitter or twisted. Not that I'm offended by the AI thinking I'm just merely a face, right? No, I'm telling you. If only it could hear my accent. Oh, right. Okay, I need help, folks. I need help. I think I'm looking at a lady, but it's calling her an Adonis. Isn't an Adonis usually a male term? So the AI thinks it's looking at a pretty boy. Okay. I need help. What do we think in the chat room? Male or female? And I'm not being cheeky. I'm not being cheeky because it's because me and the AI have disagreed on this one, folks. We're having a bit of a falling out. Me and the AI here. Come on. A girly man, somebody says. I don't know. Is it M or F? M or F. That's all you need to put. M or F. I'm confused. I'm more confused. Annabelle says male. It's one of those faces, eh? It's one of those faces. Some people are going to see male. Some people are going to male. Gender neutral. Very. Pierrot. Male. Female. Or female. Male. See? I see. I'm not such a dinosaur after all. Who knows who's right? Even the chat room split down the middle. It's a girly haircut. Definitely a girly haircut. King. Soy. No idea. The picture from the waist up. Rest of the face is male. I don't know either. Don't ask exactly. That's right, Susie. Politics. Poly meaning ticks. Blood meaning... Oh, sorry. Poly meaning many ticks. Blood-sucking creatures. I butchered that, Susie. I butchered that. I apologise. But yeah, that's exactly how that word breaks down. The eyes are very feminine. Booty judge. Yeah, I'm going for female. I'm going for female. You see, this is where I need some of that Kev Baker dating advice. After 3 pints, I think I might be going onto the dance floor with this one and taking it home. But I don't know if I know what I'm getting. You feel me? Or maybe I need to feel it. You see what I'm saying? Who knows? Who knew? Who knew? Tell you what, though, you'd wake up in the morning, you'd look over and you'd think, oh no, what did I do? Uh-oh. Who knows? Who knows? You could do that. Pierrot. Is that how you pronounce that? Pierrot. I like that. Probably isn't even how you pronounce it, but it sounds cool. So yeah, that's the AI against AI. I put in numerous photos of Joe Joseph yesterday, folks. It was just abusing Joe. It was truly abusing Joe. It called Ken Webb, changed the channel. Remember Ken? Maybe some of you don't. But it was calling him a sleuth, a detective. Good fun, all right? Harmless fun with the AI. And I know people really react the minute you say those two letters, AI. Can send some people into fits of fear. Other people, their eyes roll back in their head and they think, who cares? I get it. But it's here, it's interesting, and little things like that. We can have some fun with it along the way, right? Right? Does it make us bad people? I don't know. But I tell you what, it's time to turn down the lights, and we're going to get a little bit freaky in here. Not like that. You lot need your heads red, honestly. So dirty-minded. I just mean we're going to dial up the woo. That's all I was talking about, folks. You really, really need to clean that thinking up. So you do. I'm telling you. sending a lot of love to Just the Guy right now. He's actually urinating himself. But, you know, Nana has been cracking jokes in the chat room. Exactly, Anne. People defecating on themselves in the chat room. It's that good today. What a stream, folks. Lisa, you're one of my favourite chatters. Do you know why? Because just when things are starting to think to myself, oh, what comes next? Maybe it's getting a bit, you know, long in the tooth now to wrap it up. You always drop some AOCs in the chat room, and it makes me so happy. It does. Heck, I just had to dive there. Flew off the chair. There's the shoe is getting thrown about in the chat room. Damn, down people, down, take cover. Stream can you come to where the streamer sits in fear of a shoe every second of the stream? I know it's coming at some point. You know, see the thing I got. I know how old George Bush felt when he got shooed over in Iraq. I feel your pain, man. Feel it. What are you lot doing to me? Somebody talked about bacon when we came on the stream. Now we got Armand. He's got his dinner in the slow cooker. Dude. Oh, man, you're making me hungry. But it's that time. It's that time for us to get in to the haunted woo. Yes. Rhymes with shoe. And, yes. But not shoe. We're getting into the woo. I hope we're getting into the woo. I would love a coffee, Anne. Milk and no shoes, please. We're back, folks. We're back. And we're going into mirrors. Yes, mirrors. Haunted mirrors. Before we even get into this, I've not read the story. I don't know where this is going, but mirrors for me are definitely creepy, shall we say. I do think there's some kind of portal, some kind of access point to things otherworldly. Let's just put it that way. I remember watching an episode of one of these ghost hunting shows, and I know, you have to take things at face value and things, but it showed you in that somebody doing something called scrying. Now, this whole scrying thing, one way of doing this is looking in a mirror, and it's kind of like a blackened room, and light, I think it's just a candle there. And over time, whether it's your mind's eye playing tricks on you or not, what is said to happen is you see almost like a shift in the face, like a shape shift in your reflection, to the point where eventually it's not you looking back anymore. Yeah, very, very weird. And I don't know what it is, but you see that effect where you get one mirror here and then the other mirror, and they have that kind of, it almost goes on infinity. all these different mirrors, they reflect back and forth. I don't know what it is about that. There's something almost entrancing by it. It almost puts you in some kind of trance. I don't know what it is. It's the reflection of light. I get that. Some people will say, but Kev, it's just a mirror. I don't know. I'm going to go to the chat room before we get into this and tag me. Put the Kev Baker Show. I see people getting better at doing that. Always remember as well, folks, holy hell, I'm an hour and a half into the stream and I've just realised I'm on top chat. Go to live chat. Oh, one of these times I'll remember. One of these times I will remember, folks. Live chat. Okay? So yeah, I'm going to look for the chat room now. Jules says stories should come from the shoe of woo. Probably. Always had the fear that I would see someone behind me in the reflection when I was a kid. Sam, I used to have that one. Big time. Big time. Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary, yeah. There's lots of those little things, isn't there? You say it into the mirror and that can cause some creepiness to get going. I'm on the mango juice today. I'd crack a joke about the mango tree, but probably need to make it 18 plus on this stream. Probably offend somebody out there. Everyone's thinking, what's Kev's joke about the mango tree? See, you'll just need to think about that. The shoe of woo, exactly. Dang, exactly, Carol. I was on top chat, exactly. Kristen's telling people how you can catch my attention in there. Just at then the Kev Baker Show. The Candyman cometh, yes. What else has been said? Mr. Niter says, like the mirrors above the bed, there are all cheap hotel or no hotel. I don't know, when you're in a hotel, do you never think to yourself, is there like one of these peepholes or something behind the mirror? Is it one of these ones like you see in the cop shows? It's like a two-way mirror. You can see through the back of it and things. I don't know. Dodgy places, hotels. Dodgy places. Woo, Shoe Park tastes like cat. Nice. Scrying is really a thing. What Nostradamus did. Yep, there's various ways to do it. I think Nostradamus used to look into a bowl of water. And that, he used to get his stuff from doing that. And again, it's all about that surface. It's about that shiny, reflective surface. And myself and Ryan Gable talk about this. Your phone. You know, when it's switched off like that. What is it? It's a black, shiny surface. You're scrying. Perhaps one way of looking at it, right? Staring into the mirror, staring into that black glass. Just saying, folks, just saying. But let's have a look and see what it says here. Marinus says, yeah, that was the one about the scrying, Nostradamus. Oh, what's this say? DD74 says, need a piece of red fabric over a flashlight and hold under chin, staring into your own eyes in the mirror. Have a friend to watch your face will morph, supposed to show faces of past incarnations. Cool. Thank you, Annie. Thank you. It's so good to me. Thank you. No shoe for me today, folks. Let's see now. There we go. Back again. Sorry about that, folks. Back. What else have we got in here? Yeah, that sounds cool, DD74. It does. Aren't the eyes the mirror of the soul? Yeah. Windows to the soul, mirrors to the souls. Yep, I've heard that as well, Fred. Somebody mentioned the Bates Motel. Oh, dang. You know, the original Hitchcock Bates, Norman Bates and that, Psycho. Brilliant. But I don't know if anyone caught the new series, like Norman when he was young. Bates Motel was the name of it. Oh, a brilliant show that was. Absolutely fantastic. And the guy who acts in that, Freddie something I think his name is, young English actor, probably one of the most talented actors I've seen in a long time. And, you know, he was the perfect dude to play the young Norman Bates. Let's just put it that way. So Avtar says, blessings, Kev, from Av and Julie. Blessings to you both as well, Avtar. Right, let's get into this mirror woo, right? Because I've got Freaky Friday to do later as well, you know. Crazy people encouraging me to stay here. And this comes from one of my favourite websites. And it came from the Discord server. And it was Annabelle, or it's not, yeah, Annabelle Lee. I think that's who we've got to thank for this one. So it says here, mirrors have had legends, lore, superstitions, and myths tied to them for pretty much as long as they have been around. Now, the ancient Romans believed that they reflected a person's soul and could bring great strife if they were misused. And indeed, many other cultures have various negative supernatural qualities attached to mirrors, such as they can suck out one's soul, be portents of death, or offer glimpses into some other dimensions. In many cultures, mirrors used or are used for communication with spirits, and it's believed that they serve as portals or doorways to the spirit world, that they are some barrier between the world of the living and that of the dead. Through that veil that separates us, it is perhaps this widespread belief that has led to the phenomenon of haunted mirrors, so common around the world that there are various disparate cultures that follow the superstition of covering mirrors at certain times, in particular after a death, in order to prevent whatever is on the other side from peeking in or coming through, or even to stop a soul from becoming trapped within the mysterious mirror world. Mirrors are weird, and this is reflected in plenty of legends and lore. I'd never actually, folks, call me naive, call me ignorant. I'd never heard about that one at the funerals and things when somebody had died, covering your mirror. I wasn't aware of that. 7 years bad luck, yeah, I get that kind of thing. But that's quite interesting. Says there are instances throughout history of paranormal activity gravitating towards mirrors, which take various forms. One of the most common types of experience are figures, shadows. Oh, it's those shadow people again. Apparitions and entities, other than the person in the room appearing in a mirror or sometimes even passing through. Now, there are many reports of this happening, such as the case with one commenter named Destiny Glubitz on the site Quora, who says she is a spiritual advisor and explains one of her cases. Definitely coffee time. Definitely get some background music on for this one. We're liking this, right? One of my cases, a young woman loved mirrors. She would go to yard sales, estate sales for unusual mirrors. And one day she found an old, beautiful mirror from ceiling to floor. She had a sensation something was trying to get her attention. Until one, she said, looking at the window, show yourself to talk. What's that? Until one day she said, looking at the window, show yourself to me and talk. Now this was a bad no to say the least. Her family started arguing, getting sick as well as the pets as well. Now things started moving or disappearing, and at that point she contacted me. When I went in, I found out through psychometry, a form of tool technique to communicate with spirit. We found out that the person who owned it was very negative, vain person. When this person passed away, the mirror was sold to my client, and the negative energy and spirit of this person was attached to the mirror. When my client said that she said to the mirror, or said what she said to the mirror, she released the energy spirit into her home. The spirit fed off the negative energy, becoming stronger, which allowed it to become a poltergeist. I had to do a cleansing on the whole family and the pets and the home, and most of all, trap the spirit within the mirror again through a technique. After the cleansing, the mirror was thrown away properly so it couldn't be used ever again. Once that was done, the family, the pets, and the home was back to normal and healthy again. In another account, we allegedly have what seems to be some sort of shadow person or even a demon using a mirror as a portal. What is it with these shadow people? Why do we end up always back with the shadow people, folks? Telling you. So it says here, the witness was apparently in his bedroom one night, which features a full-length mirror. And when she saw lurking within it a tall figure in black clothing and a Quaker hat, which supposedly stepped right out into the real world, the harrowing report says. The being was wearing a long black cloak and a Quaker hat. He had glowing red eyes. That sounds like the Mothman with the red eyes. He floated along the floor, 3 inches above the ground. No feet could be seen, yet he was present in a total physical 3-dimensional form. The man who I am talking about was fully awake. This was no dream. The being asked the man if he would like to join them, and the being was meant to be the man's spirit guide for life. In return, the man would receive all of the material things that he could ever wish for. Fame as a movie star, immense riches, the girl for his wife, everything that he had been programmed to desire. The being was not there to sell the man on the benefits. He was just stating what the deal was. The being with the Quaker hat used the mirror as a portal, and a portal is an unseen vortex that connects 2 places through time and space, and even dimensions as other realities or timelines. Isn't that interesting, that one? How many times do you hear about this deal that people do? And it sounds ridiculous on the face of it. I get that. Sounds like, what the hell's Kev talking about? People don't do deals with the devil. You can't do things like that, but you can. But you can. And this sounds like something along that lines, right? Being offered all of your desires, everything you could ever wish for. Whether any of that would bring happiness, that's another question, right? I don't think that's part of the deal. So, yeah, very interesting indeed. I'm always to take the mirror down off the toilet wall. It says in another report, the witness claims to have suffered extremely vivid, morbidly terrifying nightmares. And this seems to have come to a head when he realized just what the origin of the nightmare was, and from where they were spewing forth. According to him, these nightmares had started when he had moved into a house with plenty of mirrors in the bedroom, and that besides glimpsing shadow shapes moving around within them, he believed they were unleashing something negative into his life. He says, the nightmare started when we moved into a house with mirrors covering the closet in the master bedroom. The mirrors were an open portal to other dimensions. I knew from Feng Shui that one should not have mirrors in the bedroom because it causes restless energy. Didn't know that. Bless you, Aunt. I realise now that mirrors do more than just increase the energy in a room. They let in evil spirits. We were renting, and because the mirrors were on folding doors of the closet, I could not work out how to cover them. And I did not realise at the time how important it was that I do so. Then, a year later, when we moved into another house, the one we were in at the time of the writing, or of writing, I hoped that the nightmares would stop. They did not. This time, while there were no mirrors in the bedroom, the idiots who designed the house did not put a door between the bedroom and the bathroom, just an open arch. Since we were renting, there wasn't much I could do. Part of the large vanity mirror looked almost directly into the bedroom, and I ignored the part of my mind that told me it was important to do something about it. Once I realised that the bathroom mirror was letting something in that was causing my nightmares, I had 2 choices. Cover up the mirror, or put Bible verses on it, similar to the way the mezuzahs protect doorways. Another quite frightening account of a haunted mirror comes from pagans and witches, from a witness who says that her sister had moved into a house that had quite a lot of paranormal activity within. Shadowy apparitions, light bulbs exploding for no reason, disembodied footsteps, anomalous odours, All of this and more became common occurrences. It's got to the point where she could not sleep alone at night, and she finally decided to move out of the accursed place. Convinced that it was haunted, it then became apparent why, as there was an odd, apparently haunted mirror stored in the attic, which said the time finally came for, said of which it is said, the time finally came for Sally to move out. She began by moving all of her furniture into the family home, and a lot of the furniture belonged to both my grandparents and the previous tenants. Now, one of these was a big, beautiful oval mirror with a white frame. It was being stored in our hallway for the time being, along with some other furniture. Now, one day, I was sitting in my living room when I heard a loud crash. Sally, who had already moved in, and I went out into the hall where my father was standing at the end. "What happened?" I asked. "The mirror broke," he said. "It just collapsed." Now, the mirror had fallen on its own whilst he was in another room, he said. He took it outside and placed it in the trash. Then he came back in and asked Sally if she wanted to keep the frame. "I found this too," he said, "behind the glass," and he handed her a piece of paper. It was a news article from 1985 about some football match. The whole article, however, was written in Italian. And when Sally remembered Scopata, I asked where the mirror had come from. Did it belong to our grandparents, a previous tenant, or did she buy it herself? "I found it in the attic," she said. "I took it down and painted it and hung it in my room. My father told us it belonged to the mother of the last tenant. Let's call her Maria. And Maria loved to go traveling the world and had accumulated a lot of stuff from different places. She had asked her son, the previous tenant, if she could store some stuff in their attic, but she forgot to take some of it back. The mirror was one of those things. Now, spookily, indeed, there is the prevalent belief among paranormal enthusiasts that it is always best to get rid of any mirrors left behind by previous tenants, precisely to keep this sort of thing from happening. Moving along, we come to a report from Supernatural magazine with a witness who claims his experience dated back to a haunted bed and breakfast in upstate New York that dates back to 1845. Here, within this old building, is apparently a mirror that is very active with paranormal phenomenon, and the witness says of the mirror, many people are going to be looking twice when they pass the next mirror. I am. Says the mirror in question here is an old Victorian style, which just happened to come from an old Victorian home just down the street from the hotel. The owners of the mirror had been having strange things happen. Odd lights would come in and out of the mirror, and they would see unknown faces gazing back at them. Get out. Throw the mirror out. Growing more and more uncomfortable with these unusual sights, it was decided to take the mirror down the street and see if the owners of the hotel would like to give it a good home. They were delighted to be asked and graciously accepted the gift. The antique was donated to the hotel and was hung in a place of honour in what is known as the most haunted room in the building. The beautiful Victorian antique was placed on the top of an old dresser, which was already in the room, and it was decided that they would leave the mirror to its own devices and wait to see what, if anything, happened, without mentioning it to any of the guests. Didn't take long before the mirror started to show signs of strange activity. Things began to happen, small at first, with odd balls of light moving around the edges, until over time the energy began to increase, and what appeared to be faces started to appear. Much we got to go. That's not much to go now. We're almost there, folks. We're nearly there. It says the witness decided to get some people together and try what he calls mirror divination, which seems to entail trying to communicate with whatever spirit is using the mirror as a portal. The hotel apparently has quite a few ghosts roaming about it, including that of several children and a mobster. And thought that said a lobster there at the start. I was going to say a lobster wandering about your hotel. You don't want that. It was thought that at least 2 of these ghosts might be using the mirror as a gateway to enter the hotel, and so they arranged a ritual to try and contact them through it. The witness says this: during the night's investigation, it was suggested we try a session with the mirror, so a group of about 6 guests then proceeded to the haunted room to try our luck with the art of mirror divination. Now, the first volunteers to step up had some success when their reflections seemed to change as their faces appeared to get older. Now, after a few minutes, someone suggested, Willie, why don't you give it a try? I've never tried anything like this before, and immediately agreed to take my turn. Only a few minutes had passed before changes began to take place. The first thing to occur was that my hair, which was very long at the time, seemed to be getting shorter, and my face began to transform into female features. As I stood motionless in front of the mirror with 5 witnesses seated on the bed to my left, the strange transformation proceeded. Over the next few minutes, the image of my reflection made the change from a 58-year-old man to that of a young teenage girl. Everyone in the room was fascinated with the strange image in the mirror as the young girl became more and more clear, but no one was prepared for what would happen next. Everyone was sitting quietly, transfixed on the image, while I stood motionless, staring straight into the mirror and not moving a muscle. Suddenly, the image of the young girl turned and looked straight at the people on the bed, and the mouth began to move, as if trying to talk to them. It was at this point when some of the group became very uncomfortable and started to leave. The session then came to an end when the face disappeared. I would have been out the window. You got some creepy female face in a mirror that it shouldn't be there, and it's looking at you and it's trying to talk to you. Time to go. Time to go again, folks. You see that when you go home with somebody? Out of there. Such spooky tales and accounts are numerous, and there is so much bizarre paranormal phenomenon blamed on mirrors that many paranormal investigators actually go about covering them or making sure they are spiritually cleansed before proceeding. Now, considering the plentitude of stories and the various pieces of myth and lore surrounding figures, it seems worth considering just why this might be. Is it because spirits are truly drawn to objects and they are truly doorways to other places? Or is it merely tricks or the imagination and perception within these reflective surfaces? Why should there be so much lore and mystery surrounding mirrors? No matter what the answer may be, mirrors have and probably always will continue to conjure up stories of the weird and the paranormal, and it gives one something to think about the next time you are looking at one. You never know what might be looking right back at you. Yes, indeed. Indeed, indeed, indeed. That was a long read, that one, but very, very well worth it. Mirrors, eh? Scary, scary, scary things, and a whole lot scarier now after all of that. But I've got one thing here to show you before we go. This was dropped in the Discord server as well. It's called The Mirror Haunted by Captain of the Titanic. And somebody's selling it. I bet you when you put haunted in front of mirror, it goes from being $100 to being $1,000, right? People want haunted stuff. I'm telling you, man, there's some freaky deaky people out there.
Richard Winston, the auctioneers here in Lichfield, and I've got a mirror once owned by the captain of the Titanic.
That's not haunted. That's like a reflection of his photograph, mate. You're at it. Don't be lying now.
Captain Smith, and many say it's haunted. The story behind the mirror is that the housekeeper who was looking after Captain Smith was not paid because unfortunately Captain Smith died on the Titanic, and the housekeeper then was told that she could have anything in the house to pay for lost wages, and she went and picked this mirror.
Pretty cool. The Titanic, wow. What a story that is. Plenty woo attached to that as well, eh? Was it even the Titanic? Was there something bigger going on? Something more at play than what we were told? Fascinating.
And then we have a letter coming explaining here exactly the reasons why she took the mirror. The mirror came to our auction house by the present owner of the mirror, who decided that he wants to sell it. He doesn't want to keep it in his safe anymore. He thinks it should be seen by a wider audience.
No, he's wanting money for it. Don't lie, mate. He's wanting the money. He's wanting the coin. Just let people sell things.
We've estimated it to get on very near to £10,000. We're hoping it'll go well past the £10,000, but we'll just have to see and wait and see. Is it haunted?
Yes, that's the question. Is it haunted? And then just the guy says, is that Brian? Is Brian acting as is he like moonlighting as an auctioneer? Wait till I get a hold of him, man. Dang, dude. And Lisa says, I found out a way to clear my office. Pull out the AirPods and play KBS Haunted Mirror, Bad Juju. Awesome. Awesome. I like that. And, Stimulate's got a point there. It's one of the things a lot of guests have told me on the show. There'll be numerous guests, and some of them not even Christian, by the way. And they've said the only thing that's helped them in those times when they've been like getting tormented by ooga boogas, poltergeists, possessions, that type things, hauntings, it's Jesus Christ. And I'm not a religious guy. I don't talk about that. I've got my own personal beliefs, and I think they should remain private and personal because it divides too many times, right? But that word, that frequency, that spell, that scares the living you-know-what out of these ooga boogas. And that is the one thing that many people around the world tell you. They just, boom, like that, gone. I don't know, make of it what you will. But yeah, I totally get you, Stimulate.
Well, the housekeeper always thought it was haunted.
Oh, well, that's it then. It must be, right? If the housekeeper said so.
Because she wrote here, she always spooked me when it was said that every time I looked into it, I could still see Captain Smith's face.
Okay, that would be a bit creepy. Okay, maybe I went too early. Fair dues. Haunted then.
In and on the anniversary of when the Titanic went down. And quite one or two people since say they've seen it. We haven't yet, I'm afraid, but they do say it's haunted. So whoever purchases this mirror, which is in December, they've got a good 4 months before April hits to test the theory if it is indeed.
Okie dokie. That was just a quick clip. The channel for that is called Cater's Clips. So a big shout out to them. Hopefully, it is fair use. I am talking about it. We are commenting on it. So, you know how YouTube goes though. So, haunted mirrors, be they from the Titanic or anywhere else. I'm on board with it. Folks. They are definitely portals, windows, openings to other places. I'm sure some good as well as the more frequently discussed bad as well, right? You never hear of any kind of story where, in fact, now that I'm thinking about it, does it lead to anywhere good? You never hear of anything good coming through mirrors, right? That story never ends well. Never ends well. No person on earth has ever started a story with, you never guess what came through my mirror, and then it turned out to be something positive, right? I don't think so anyway. Maybe there's somebody out there that wants to prove me wrong. That's cool. That's absolutely cool. I'd be more comforted to know that there are good things crawling through mirrors out there. But we also know that the majority of things are these shadowy type entities, these things that just lurk, be it in mirrors, be it in the corner of your eye. I don't know, folks. The world just seems to be getting a whole lot more filled with woo these days. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's because I'm looking at it all the time. I don't know. Seems weirder, right? And I think all of you out there agree. So the housekeeper knows, says Annabelle. What if you punch it? That would sort it. Definitely sort it. John Nelson made it to the coffee space time. Good stuff, John. Good stuff. Good to see you here. We're almost wrapping up, my friend. Almost. But still good to see you here. We've had a blast tonight. That's been 2 hours. Over 2 hours, folks. And I said to myself, I'll only do an hour today. That's all I'll do. I'll just do an hour. But I just love hanging out in the chat room and then getting into these stories. So I'm not complaining. That's what I'm trying to say. Do. We'll put that on while we look at the chat room. See what's going on in Chatland. Oh, yeah. Brett Munson's got it sussed in there. How you doing, Brett? If you look in a mirror in a single wide trailer, you'll see Elvis. Annabelle says Alice through the looking glass. Good portal story for kids. Why is it you see it as well, you know, when it comes to like TV series and movies and things, there's always that Alice in Wonderland theme. You need to check that out, folks. Reasons for that. Fred over in Portugal, I feel you, man, I feel you. With a face like mine, every mirror is haunted. I know that feeling, dude. Oh, it broke into the White Hats. No, it's not the White Hats, it's the Deep State are coming. Love the Deep State in the background. It might make me speed up a bit. Brown chicken, brown cow. See a lot of that going on in the chat room. I'm just looking at the chat, folks. I'm just waiting for you. I've got my mango juice. Mango juice. Big shout out to Scotty Lopez. Scotty Lopez says, Kevin, you need to get on the mango juice, man. That was just bad music. That was just not happy music. I don't care if the Deep State are coming. I don't care. I'd rather chill out with you cool people in the chat room. Big middle finger to the Deep State. Hashtag Deep State, you know. If you break a mirror, you get 7 years of bad luck. Fortunately, I know a lawyer who can get you 4. If it's a British legal system or mirror system, you probably get out after 1 year. Just saying. The first mirror was a Cam Lake. Damn, Polly. You had to go and take it right deep, didn't you? Shh. Throwing out pearls of wisdom like that, my friend. You'll get us all thinking it's TGIFF, dude. Thank goodness it's Freaky Friday. What do you think, folks? Should we simulcast later? I don't know. I don't know if I'm feeling it. Don't know if I'm feeling it. Tiffany, been fun smoking fat ones and feeling the woo. That's what I'm talking about. Get in there. I get off this stream, I'm going to take some time to reflect on what we've been talking about. See, Billy Joe, you see, Billy, I told you. You know, it might have been over a year ago now, but remember when we started the streams? I remember you were there at the first streams. And it only took us a year to get to where we were wanting to go. All of the ghost woo, all of the good woo. You trigger me, well, not you personally, but I trigger myself on these silly gender stories that are out there. All of this get woke, go broke kind of craziness that's going on right now. I tell you, this is developing into something very, very, very special right here. Add to that the TFR show. Dang, KBS is taking over the world. Okay, I'm joking. Adrian, it's okay, brother. It's okay. I'm like some kind of new kind of breed of internet virus. I'm like a streaming Ebola. Yep. Once I start, I just go everywhere. Viral. Joke. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. It's just mango juice, man. Indeed, Billy. Indeed. If only it had been. Bedtime, Adrian. Bedtime? What is this mythical creature you talk of? Bed? What's that? Or that thing where you go to sleep? You see, that's my problem. I don't know about all of you people out there, but damn, sleeping is getting harder these days, folks. I don't know what it is. Don't know what it is. Get off the show. I've got everything done, and I just can't wind down. It's like maybe 12:30. 1:45 by the time I've spoke to my mum and things, and that should be me ready to wind down, go to bed, go to sleep. It just ain't panning out like that at all. It just ain't panning out like that at all, folks. Don't know why, but and I know it's not just me. I know it's other people out there as well. Other people are not even talking to me, but you see it on Facebook and things. Not sleeping right. Who knows what it is? Somebody's talking about, whoa, somebody's talking about reptiles in the chat room. Graves or reptiles? Where from, Davey? Where'd I go? Where's the graves and reptiles? Tell me where, man. I'll be there. Stimulated says he's got a bad case of skeet-bola. Billy Joe passes out by 9 p.m. So jealous. So jealous. The blue light doesn't help. No, you're right. You're right there, Gradient. And of course, blue light, for anyone that doesn't know, that's what comes off your mobile and off screens and things like that, and it tricks your body. The wavelength literally tells your body it's daytime. Woo, wakey, wakey. Not good for sleeping. And 6 hours past, eat bro. If you struggle sleeping, try grounding. Audio lover in the chat. I was talking about grounding the other day. That's something I do. I do the grounding. I do. I get some strange looks down in Glasgow Green, but hey. What time tonight, please? Greenwich Mean Time, Jason. Well, Freaky Friday starts at midnight on tfrlive.com. That is 7 p.m. on the East Coast, 4 p.m. on the West Coast, midnight here in the UK. I think it's morning down under in Australia. It's going to be about 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning in Norway. You get the idea, folks. You get the idea. So yeah, it's a late one. But TFR's a US-based network, so I'm just lucky to be on there. But of course, I have to go with the US clock, you know, so I get it. It's late, but hey. So what else have we got in here? Grounding doesn't silence pain ratio. No. Just smoke some good indica and you'll get sleep great. It's one of the reasons I want them to legalize it over here, dude. Susie, thank you. Thank you. Jason, great show. It's all of us coming together that makes it a great show, right? I think, anyway. I wouldn't spend so much time in the chat if I didn't think that. I could have been gone 10 minutes ago. Carrie, big love heart to you as well, Carrie. Thank you. I need Night Nurse or Cabana Boy. I don't know what Cabana Boy is, but it sounds like if you give him $5, he'll probably love you long time, Lisa. Oh, Anne's making noises as well. You like the Cabana Boys, Anne? Eh? No? That wouldn't fly in the US. They stimulate. Avatar, just take over the truth, not the world. That's enough. Absolutely. That's it. Storm the truth. Instead of storming Area 51. That'd be an idea. What music? We'll have one more tune before we go, right? I like this one. This is the Vikings. Quite like this one. I don't know what... It's from the YouTube audio lab. It's called Vikings. I'm not very much Viking-y about it, but hey. Grounding will induce or reduce the inflammation. Though, try smoking while grounding like me. Norway has a chocolate bar called... excuse me. Burp in there. Yap or Jap. Probably triggered the algorithm now. Yes, indeed. I could just sit here and play the tunes and put my feet up. Let Anne take over the stream. Fancy, Anne? Oh, you'll do a better job than me, is that right? Do you think so? That's terrible, isn't it? Terrible, man. There's like going to be some like KBS coup going on here in the back. Not a shoe. Or it might be a coup by shoe. Coup by shoe. That's a good headline, that one, right? Just the guy says, Kristen, you owe us 50 push-ups. Begin. Kristen, I don't know how you do it. 4:30 a.m. for swimming practice. And then you're like driving a taxi. Damn. 4:30? That's not even, that's like still the day before. You go to work the day before? What, joking. Lisa in there dropping some Popeyes. Yes. We love ourselves some Popeye, right? There they are. There's the white hats. Just before we go, you know, I had to remind us all that the good guys have got everything sorted. You don't have to worry about the world, folks. Gitmo's filling up as we speak. All these bad people are being rounded up, you know. Don't worry. Go back to sleep. Back to sleep. The government loves you. Everything's fine, right? They've got your back. The white hats are coming. Gitmo filling up. Woohoo! Is that what it is, Fred? Is that where I'm going wrong? Having sex helps men fall asleep. Yep. You hear that, Ann? Incoming shoe. Okay, folks. Okay. No, the Red Ninjas aren't there yet. Joe Joseph will unleash the Red Ninjas later. And if you want to join us later, definitely going to be over on tfrlive.com. Oh, look, there he is, Joe Joseph, the one and only. My good friend Ella, she's going to be on TFR Live very soon as well. Head on over there now. It's live radio all the way. And oh, nice. Nice. We've got the deep state are coming. It's called the New Order. I don't know. I'm just silly. I'm mad that way, right? But yeah, we'll be on Freaky Friday later, folks. Keep your eyes open on YouTube. We may simulcast. We may. We'll see. I'll see what the guys think. Joe Joseph, he's an absolute. He's got that new camera now, and he loves looking at himself. So it's easy to persuade Joe. Okay. So we may be back on the tubes later, but if not, remember it's Weekend Woo. Yes, KBS goes Weekend Woo at the weekends, and we'll be on at 1 a.m. here in the UK on Sunday morning. I know it's not even Saturday, but yeah, Sunday morning 1 a.m, 8 p.m. on the East Coast and 5 p.m. on the West Coast tomorrow, and on Sunday or Monday morning for me. I know it's confusing, right? But please, please, please join us tonight if you can. Keep your eyes open. Like I say, we might be here. To all of those who supported the stream, I thank you so, so much. To everyone else, I thank you equally as much as well. But to those who did support the streams, honestly, can't thank you enough. But we'll be back later on with more woo and shoes and coos and I don't know what else is going on. But until then, folks, have a good one. Keep it real. Keep asking questions. Question everything. But don't get to the point, right, where you keep your head that open that your brain falls out. So, until later, much love. Funny, right? But seriously, as a man who lurks on many a live stream, you lot absolutely rock. Everyone says goodbye to one another, so much friendship, you know. I just wanted to say that before we go. Honestly, if you want to know where the change is coming from, probably people like you in the chat room.